boy, Jeremy Flores, representing France. This is the event he wants to win more than any other venue on tour in front of his hometown crowd. He takes on Michel Bourez, representing Tahiti. Both these guys have a lot in common. They started getting wild card opportunities to surf in this very event before they qualified full-time for the championship tour. Both of them want to get that winning feeling on a beach break setup that has given them so much in their career. Before we close out the round and then get news on what to expect later on this afternoon. Now finally getting a start to this matchup, driving down the line, local boy Jeremy Flores comes around the corner and goes for the massive grab rail reverse, but misses the grab and goes down.
Yeah, that was that club sandwich, wasn't it? Grab the rail, stick the nose in, spin the board around, upside down, inverted. There's a lot going on there, pretty crazy maneuver, but we've seen Jeremy pull that off.
Otter can kind of nose pick out of it. As we take another look at this opening exchange, Potts.
Yeah, Jeremy getting the inside, so drawing first blood. Good solid wave here from Jeremy. Comes off the bottom and you see, grabs the rail there, just lets it go. Had he pulled that off, that would have been a big score just to kick things off. You can see the angle that he gets. Throws that board upside down. Just didn't quite get that, almost that body rotation that he was looking for. Maybe his weight wasn't distributed properly on that maneuver.
Have a great game plan, enjoy the conditions, and he won't get a wave in his heat. Kind of what happened to him in the opening round of competition when he came in with a 2.83 combined total compared to John's 18.6 total in the same matchup.
Factor. While we're at that interview, Jeremy Flores, wave number 2. This was underneath the priority of Michel Bourez, so smart move there from Jeremy. Couple of beautiful turns, nice smooth wrapping maneuver right there and kicks out. So Jeremy opens up his account. Michel Bourez right behind him. The Spartan, one of the most powerful guys on tour. Sometimes he overpowers the wave, so he's got to just be a little bit more gentle out there with these beach breaks here in France. Finishing off right there. So Michel Bourez, his opening wave of 417. Jeremy Flores, wave 2 of 533, Joe. I can't remember seeing so many surfers that have been out due to injury.
Same with Jeremy, recovered from his injury to his head. Now doesn't have the helmet on, up now. Quick hack to start, layback jam in the pocket for Flores. Off the top carve and he goes down. Off to an epic start, different turns, putting a lot of risk on the line, but he sinks. We saw them dead even in matchups and one-on-one heats. Let's see what happened to Jeremy on this wave.
Yeah, using his priority right now. Jeremy flying down the line up and over that section. This is the turn right here. Jams it in the pocket. Beautiful there from Jeremy, and then just cranks it a little bit too hard. Gets that board traveling kind of sideways, catches that outside rail and goes down.
You see Michel Bourez now holding first priority, still with just the 417. The Tahitian now will glide in front of Flores. Already with some speed, hard off the bottom, big front side whip in the pocket. Sets the rail again for the roundhouse cutback. Into the flats, he has to get out. But a tidy little two-turn combo.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be wave number 2 for Michel. Now he's got his that 2-wave total.
Now 16:40 remaining. Gliding in Flores. Michel has a front row seat for this one. Vertical snap, he's down. You saw that little backwash kind of bounce up right when he hit that wave. And so 2 falls for Jeremy into the crowd on the beach with Chelsea Cannell.
Yeah, hey Joe. So I've got an equally pretty good seat here, but Strider is still taking the cake. There are so many hometown fans here, nowhere to sit. He's pretty much standing room only. I don't even know where all these people parked, and if you go out to the parking lot, you can see there's some interesting park jobs that hopefully they're not going to get towed for, but everybody coming out here to support Jeremy Flores, and what a great show he's putting on in the water out there. We'll send it back to you to see what he's up to.
Thank you, Chelsea. Catching up to the backhand performance of Michel Bourez, showing how much power he has. Even though Bourez is from Tahiti, he spent so much time out here.
You know, a little bit different. You know, you go to Brazil for the H9Recap Pro, and you know, basically Felipe starts to paddle for a wave, and the crowd start to get very vocal. Let's have a look at Michel's wave here on his backhand, deciding to try and get a couple of vertical turns here. Those right-handers are starting to shut down. Beautiful snap right there. So 2 consecutive turns there from Michel Bourez. What's he looking for? 5.76. So not a huge score required by the Tahitian.
Some non-elimination matchups, we usually don't factor those in when you try to separate these two in performing. Now left-hander for Jeremy Flores. Right on the money with his first snap. Off the top carve. Now another little fading cutback. He's got a clean little wedge to carry him the distance. Multiple backside turns, running out of water. He'll get out of there. Flores, the fan favorite, looking to better a 4.6 on that wave.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's got to get past Michel Bourez first. And I think that's what he's got to focus on. One wave at a time, one heat at a time. You know, don't get carried away. Don't try and think too far ahead. He's got to get past Bourez, as I said.
We have a few more heats to complete round 3. As we look down the beach, we can see a fun-looking ride setting up for the Tahitian. Setting up his first turn, big bottom turn. How's that power gouge off the top for the Spartan? Gets back into play out front. A little off the top jam, and he'll get out of there on the inside corner. But a huge committed forehand gouge to start. He'll hang in there just for a little bonus, just in case. One more little rebound, using that whitewater coping well. Now the wave subsides onto the beach. As we close in on the 10-minute mark, let's get news on the rest of the day with our commissioner, Kieran Perro, who's with Peter Mel. Made the Pipe Masters final 2 years in a row. Lost to Jeremy Flores the first time. Here's Flores now out front. Big wrapping cutback, and he hops out. 8:52 to go. You can see him adjusting in his positioning with that tide really filling in. A great call here in France, and that's kind of a tradition. You'll go on hold for a couple hours. I love how you don't have to leave the beach and stop the event from running, and you can still take advantage of the swell at hand. This is Flores. Quick blitz off the top. Nice clean forehand wrap. Getting a lot of energy out of this right. Wraps it, now it's going to get sluggish, so he kicks out, staying super active with the intent of getting into the quarterfinals of this contest. That would be a first if he could get to the quarters. Surfing on his home court here in France.
Shallow reef, so you've got to have that go-for-it attitude. If you pull back at all, then there's definitely an issue.
Bourez on a stretched out left, sits on the roof for a big float, airdrops. He'll recover into a bottom turn and a clean off the top. Now he pushes out in front. This wave is getting really full. He'll just hit in the whitewater. And that little whitewater rib will push him into the inside track. A bonus section. Drifts the fins. Michel trying to fire himself up as we hit the 5-minute warning. Needed a 6.09 to steal the lead off Jeremy.
Yeah, well, there's some good maneuvers right there. A little bit of a wobble at the bottom after that long floater maneuver, so we'll see what the judges think about that. He did complete that wave though, a couple of little bonus turns on the inside. Beautiful conditions still this afternoon. And as Kieran Perro said, we're going to go on hold for a couple of hours. Let this tide max out and then back here again at 5.
Now 4:30 to go. Flores with an answer. Frontside whip in the pocket. Sets the rail for a while for that roundhouse cutback. Now skating out in front, picking his point. There's nothing left. You can see Jeremy just wanting more out of the inside corner. You go back in history, back in round 3 in 06. Kelly Slater took him out. Greg Emsley the next year. Rodrigo Danellis in round 3 the year after that. Watching Michel now at the 3-minute mark with a lot of open face. Messy little opening section. He'll come down with one turn and he gets out. 3 minutes on the clock here in Heat 9.
Yeah, you know, you've got to find a gem, really. One of those waves that hits the bank. Here we go, Jeremy, up and riding.
Opting on the backhand whip. Nice clean vertical turn. Hits it harder in the pocket, but loses it. 2:25 to see if he can break the curse. KP took him out in round 3 in 2012. Here's Michel, 2:10 to go. Going for the reverse. Gets the lift off, but not the landing. Now clear why KP wants to go on hold. Jeremy's last coming in the 3 range. He did the snap and then he fell. We're down to 35 seconds to go.
Wow, small scores required by Michel Bourez. I'm sure he understands the situation. You can see not happy 25 seconds to go.